Welcome back. All right, so it's time for us to get into a world of an incredible journey, and this is a journey of transformation. So, a lot of times people talk about sustainability, and it seems like sustainability have become a trend. But let me tell you something. The truth is that it's not actually a trend. It's actually the right direction to go, especially when we look around the things happening around us, and also in a world inundated with plastic waste and all that. Well, we have innovative thinkers and eco advocates that have joined us today, and we are going to be looking at what they are doing with the trash around them. So in the studio with me is Jidedi Senaya, who's the founder and executive director of GICO Center for Climate Justice. You can also call it ZICO CCJ. And we also have Mary Lancelot, who's the founder and ED of MLC Fashion. Welcome, guys. How are you?
Thank you. We're doing well.
How's everything?
Thank you. We are fine.
You're fine, right?
It's fine.
All right. So it's nice to have you in the studio, and I'm actually very excited to be having this conversation with you because, like I said, when we talk about sustainability, a lot of times it has become like a trend. People think it's a trend when brands, when companies all decide to say, you know what, we want to stop the old ways of doing things and drive the sustainable way. Jidedi, you are actually the founder and executive director of ZICO Center for Climate Change. Let us know what ZICO Center does.
All right, thank you. So the GICO Center for Climate Justice is a non-profit organization that's dedicated to empowering young people to play an active and practical role in climate change.
Yeah.
And we tackle climate change from a multifaceted approach through initiatives like upcycling, reforestation, exploring cleaner energy and transportation options. Thank you.
And how has that been going? Do young people understand when you teach them?
All right. So far, young people have been very receptive towards our trainings and workshops so far. They are actually very excited to come on board, and it gives them a sense of accomplishments that they are contributing to a cleaner Ghana and a cleaner future for people coming up.
Right. All right. So, Mary, tell us about MLC Fashion.
So MLC Fashion is a sustainable fashion business that is on a mission of upcycling plastic waste, leather waste, and fabric waste into beautiful fashion accessories such as footwear, bags, tote bags, and luxury bags as well.
Right. So now, what's the idea behind plastic to purpose, from plastic to purpose?
All right. So most of the people on the GICO CCJ team were alumni of YALI, which is the Young African Leaders Initiative. And after YALI, we have a community engagement project we undertake. And during that, we decided to teach youth how to upcycle plastics into valuable items. And we won a grant to start a community project where we go to, say, underserved communities and we teach them how to make or create value out of plastic waste.
Right. Yeah. Now, talking about plastic waste, how significant is the problem of plastic waste globally? Let's talk about it globally first, and then we'll bring it down to Ghana. Maybe then we'll look at the beach, what we see on the beach and all of that. So let's start with globally. How significant is it right now?
All right. So I would say that the issue of plastic waste is a global pandemic. Because if you look at countries worldwide, everyone is trying to find solutions and alternatives to plastic. There are countries that have banned the use of single-use plastics. Yeah, some are even exploring, say, making plastics from renewable sources like wheat and corn. And when you come to Ghana, it's the same issue here. Ghana generates 840,000 tons of plastic waste annually. And from research, we realized that plastic takes 1,000 years to decompose.
1,000 years to decompose?
Yes, to decompose.
Wow.
So you realize that even the 840,000 tons we generate annually is not being decomposed. We are piling them up every single year. And the rate keeps increasing. So if we don't do anything to stop it now, I believe it will become a very severe issue for us in years to come.
Right. So why is it important that we actually find innovative ways to actually do something about this?
All right. So I always say that there's no planet B. this plastic menace actually affects our climate. You realize that farmers complain about yield, produce. Even with us, you realize that the weather is changing.
Right.
Sometimes when it's supposed to rain, it's sunny.
Yeah.
When it's supposed to be sunny, it's raining. It affects our farming systems.
Yeah.
It poses a threat to food security and many other issues. So I believe the time to act is now. So why not make use of the plastic in our system already,
Right.
while we research into more sustainable ways or alternatives to plastics.
All right. So, Merit, can you take us through some of the methods that you use in upcycling to making some of these things that we see here? Let's go through the products that we actually see on the items that we actually see on the table.
So this is a tote bag. I use sacks, rice sacks, detergent sacks, fish feed sacks.
So can we see it?
Yes.
So, yeah.
So sacks.
Right.
Yes. And this also have a sack in it. There's a drawstring bag, also has a sack in it. And this is plastics, different kinds of plastic. So I have pure water sachet here. I have the black polythene here. The other polythenes that we go to shopping.
Is that why we see the colors?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like the blue sort of come from the pure water.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. So it's made from that. And this bag.
Did you melt it?
No.
So how did it become like this?
So I applied heat, but it's not melted. The heat compresses it. So there is a machine that we use for it. Yeah, so I learned it from Macintosh Africa.
Right.
Yeah, so he has the machine that we use for making the plastic into this way. Yes, so that's what we use. And then this bag is also made from plastic waste.
How? let's look at it. Take it up. Yeah.
So all this side is plastic waste. And even the
so
leather.
So it's still the process of
leather.
that?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That came out of, wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's from plastic.
So even the leather is what? You were saying something?
It's also waste. So the leather, I took it from people that have bought leather and they've used for either the chairs or that's where I got it from, and I used it.
Wow. So when you go out around, like when you go out to these people and say, you know what, give me the rest of your wasted leather or the leather you want to throw away, what's their first impression?
So they ask me what am I going to use it for. So it's always give me the opportunity to educate these people, especially when I go. Sometimes I take the sacks from schools as well.
Right.
So I get the opportunity to educate them on why we have to reuse and not to just leave the linear way, but then we have to reuse so that we'll be able to save our environment and then our country. And then yes, the fish feed and all, when I go, that's what I tell them.
Oh, even the fish feed?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so let's see.
So this is also from plastic waste. Okay. Yes, so the same process that I used to make the footwear as well.
So now, how does upcycling the materials actually help the environment?
Okay, so these are things that people have used that are supposed to be either thrown or littered around in our environment, which goes a long way to affect ourselves. Even immediately it affects our community where we live before the nation as a whole. So we go out to pick them or take them out from the environment and we reuse it to come back to the environment. We give it life and then we've seen that for us to be able to tackle plastic waste, it has to be a lifestyle. How can we make people live such a life? Because if you give someone plastic, the person won't want to use it back. But if the person sees that it's being made into something beautiful, something that will make the person stand out, the person will be willing to use it. And then the person will start practicing. Okay, so if I keep the plastic, I can get someone to reuse it. And so there is no need for me to litter it.
Discard it. Discard it. Right. Now let's talk about from plastic to purpose. You know, the events, what is it about and when and how and everything we need to know about it.
All right, so the Plastic to Purpose event is an upcycling project that we initiated to teach young people how to convert plastic waste into valuable items, like some of what we see here now. And the inspiration came from our very first workshop at a primary school. After introducing them to plastic waste and what they could do with it, the school kids were able to come up with like creative items. Some of them had side bags, aprons, color palettes made from plastic waste. And so we thought, why not like teach them how to finish their skills or perfect their skills, and possibly they could find a good market to market their product, sell, and make a living out of it. Probably put it in an educational fund for when they grow up. So that was the main inspiration. And we launched it last week, Monday, on 4th November at Pokuase MLC Fashion.
At her place?
Yes, at her place. Yeah, so she's our main trainer for the program. And some of the items you see here, the 2 drawstring bags with the water sachets were made by students in only 1 week.
In only 1 week?
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So it starts at 10 a.m. every day?
Yes,
to 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Yeah. So is there still like an avenue for people to join in case they want to join?
All right. So for this current cohort, there's unfortunately no avenue, but we'll be opening a new cohort in 2 months' time.
Right,
So they are free to join. They can stay updated on our social media platforms for the new opening.
Right. So if there are people that want to help, what can they do?
All right. So they can reach out to us. We have a website, gicoccj.org. So when they type that, they'll be able to find us, send us an email, or contact us. We'll be happy to collaborate with them.
Right. So, but Mary, in case there are people out there that are watching and they have a bunch of waste in their house, they probably have known, okay, you know what, we want to keep this. You understand? We don't know what to do with it yet, but we are keeping it, right? In case they want to reach out to you to say, okay, Mary, we like what you're doing. How can people reach out to you?
So people can contact me through my telephone 055 22 34566, and then we'll arrange the convenient way they can bring them to me.
Right.
Yes.
Right. That's interesting. So before I let you go, what are your final words to anyone watching right now, especially when it comes to the issue of sustainable environment or reducing the use of plastic waste?
All right, so my final words will be that as individuals, citizens of Ghana, we must make an effort to reduce our carbon footprint through practical steps. So for instance, we can start by little ways of segregating our waste at home. Do not put all your food waste and your plastic waste together, because it makes it difficult for us to salvage the waste. So if you have it separate, it makes it easier for it to be repurposed.
Right. Any final words, Mary?
Yes, so I want to say that plastic waste or waste management, all of us have to get involved if we want to save our environment and the community we live in. We all have to get involved.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. It was really nice talking to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking to Jidedi Senaya, who's the founder and executive director of GICO Center for Climate Justice, and Mary Lancelot, who's the founder and ED of MLC Fashion. And these are young people leading change for a greener future. So if you're out there and you're wondering, how can I actually start living sustainably? Simple. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Just the 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. Well, that's it from me. Let us check out our entertainment highlight of the day, and we will be back with more.